Hello guys, Harry here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you are well. So here is the full review of my most recent purchase, my new Seiko GMT. I did the unboxing of this watch late last week, and I did touch on the price in that video, but I don't want you guys to refer back to that video just for the price, even though you can check out the internet anyway. But I'll quickly touch on the price as well. So the retail price in Australia for this watch is $875. If you're in the US, the retail price is $475. I managed to get 22% of the retail price of the watch that I have here with me today. There was one authorized retailer here in Australia that was selling the watch at that price. So I jumped onto the opportunity and bought myself one. That sale is over, but I found another authorized retailer of Seiko watches who is selling this watch for $700. Now that might not sound much, but that's $175 off the retail price, and especially for a watch which is flying off the shelves, and most retailers are still charging full retail price for this watch. That's not a bad amount of discount. Talking about the color options available, you have 3 color options available with this watch. I've got the blue dial here with me. There's an orange dial and a black dial as well. This is SSK003. The black one is SSK001, and the orange one is SSK005. Now I chose to go for the blue dial option. I had all 3 lined up next to each other, and decided to go for this because this really stood out to me. And the other reason I chose to go for this is, look, to be honest with you, that the orange one is really nice too. Yeah, I was really tempted to go for the orange dial. One thing that was holding me back from buying the orange was my Bulova Devil Diver. I've got this orange dial, and this is one of the best orange dials you can get out there in my opinion. But saying that, it doesn't mean that I can't have another orange dial in my collection. I've already got plenty of blues and blacks, but that doesn't really stop me from buying another blue or a black watch for my collection. Do it all the time actually, and I think at that point I just took the safest option and chose to go for the blue, and I'm not really regretting my decision, to be honest with you, because this blue dial is really nice, especially with that red big red GMT hand and GMT printed in red on the dial as well. That red goes really nicely with the blue and white. We'll take a closer look at the dial shortly, but let's talk about the dimensions first. So the case size on this watch is 42.5 millimeters across. Lug to lug distance is 46 millimeters. Now, if you guys are familiar with Seiko's 5KX and the SKX range, the way this watch looks and those dimensions will not be foreign to you. The lug to lug distance on this watch is really compact, fits really nicely on the wrist, and even for someone like me who has an average size wrist, my wrist size is 7 inches, I can easily pull off this watch without any problems at all. Case thickness is 13.6 millimeters, and lug width is 22 millimeters on this watch. Stainless steel case crown and bracelet on this watch. We have high polished finish along the sides and brushing on the top of the lugs. Unsigned crown at 4 o'clock. This is a pull and push crown guarded by crown guards on either side. You get 100 meters of water resistance with a pull and push crown and a screw down case back. Flat hardlex crystal with a Cyclops. Look, with Seiko, as seen on so many occasions, we're not going to get a sapphire crystal, and I think we've gotten used to the fact that we shouldn't even be expecting a sapphire crystal from Seiko at these price points anyway. So this Cyclops, I can see a lot of people liking it and others not liking it, and I can see a lot of people swapping this out for a sapphire crystal at the same time as well. So for me, this Cyclops is okay. I've got no complaints with having this magnifier on my watch. Talking about the bezel, this is a bi-directional friction based bezel, no click function to this. Bezel has hardlex insert, and yeah, it does move freely, no problems there. You don't really need to put a lot of effort into rotating this bezel. One benefit of this bezel, like I see, at least for me personally, over a click function bezel, especially on Seiko watches at these price points, is the alignment. Yeah, you control the alignment on this bezel. How many times have we come across Seiko watches where the bezels never aligned? There was misalignment all the time. The quality control was really bad when it came down to those things. So, at least with this one, you don't have to worry about that. As I said, you control the alignment on this bezel. Now, coming to the dial, as I said, I really like this blue dial, especially with the sunburst effect. That big red GMT hand, it just goes really nicely with the white and blue on this dial. I don't see. I'm not too sure if I can properly catch the sunburst effect under lights in my camera, but you can see some of that in play at the moment. But out in the natural light, in the flash, it looks absolutely fantastic. We have applied markers all around. Seiko is applied underneath the 12 o'clock marker. The logo 5 is printed underneath Seiko. Automatic GMT printed above the 6 o'clock marker. The GMT is printed in red. It is slightly hiding behind the hour hand at the moment, but it's printed in the same red as that GMT hand. Date complication at 3 o'clock. If you're used to the SKX and 5KX range, they have the day and date complication. On this one, we only get the date. Minute track on the chapter ring, and Arabics for the GMT hand as well. And we have fantastic lume on this watch too. We have Seiko's Lumibright. Let me just turn the lights off, and we'll be able to look at the quality of the lume. So here you go. As I said, fantastic. Lumibright is doing what it's supposed to do. Lights up straight away. It stays on for a decent amount of time, and you can catch every part of that dial. What's happening there with all those markers have a decent amount of lume. All the hands as well. You can see the GMT hand with that big triangle. You can see the seconds hand, rotating away. Or spinning away at the moment too. So yeah, with the lume, I've got no complaints. As I said, Seiko's Lumibright is doing a fantastic job on this watch. So that's the lume for you guys. Let me turn the lights back on again, so we can carry on with the rest of our review. Now, talking about how to move the hands or adjust the time and the date on this watch. So when the crown is in its original position, you can hand wind the movement. We'll talk about the movement shortly, but pull out the crown to its first position. When you rotate it in the clockwise position, you'll move the GMT hand. When you rotate the crown in the same position for first pull, you'll adjust or change the date, so you can only move the GMT hand in one direction. Pull the crown out to its final position, and that's where you'll be able to adjust the time. You can see all the hands are moving now. So yeah, that's how you move the GMT hand, adjust the time, and adjust the date on this watch as well. Pull and push crown, you can push it back into its original position. Now, talking about the bracelet, one thing I was praying for this bracelet not to turn out like my current bracelet from Seiko on my SKX, because this does rattle a lot. This is one of the older ones anyway, and yeah, it does pull some hair as well. And I was really praying for the when I looked at the bracelet in the photos, I was like, oh my god, this is the same. This is the same bracelet, but this bracelet on the new GMT is miles ahead of the one on my SKX. For the starters, we get solid links on this one, decent finishing as well. We've got polished in the middle, brushing on the sides. Tapers down to 18 before increasing up to 20 on the clasp again. Fold over clasp with Seiko there, and it is a pressed clasp. So the quality of the clasp is quite average. Again, you can swap out the clasp for a nice milled clasp as well. 4 levels of micro adjustment, so you can expect to get a decent fitting from this bracelet. Though unfortunately this is not sized for my wrist at the moment. I haven't really gotten around to it, and I haven't really sized the bracelet yet, which I will do in the next couple of days. I've been really just trying it out with the way it is, and it doesn't really fit my wrist, but from the quality point of view, it doesn't really rattle at all. From the fitting point of view, the way it fits to the case, they could have done a better job, and as you can see. But again, it's not too bad. This Jubilee style bracelet from Seiko, I can see a lot of people keeping it the way it is. So so that's the bracelet for you guys. Let's have a quick look at the movement as well. So this one has Seiko's 4R34 automatic movement. So from the 4R family, I can see this movement, finding home in a lot of other watches from Seiko in the future, and maybe Seiko might decide to sort of sell this to other watchmakers as well, like under the NH umbrella. So that's the movement for you. There's there's minimal or no decoration on this one. So 4R34 comes with 24 joules, approximately 40 hours of power reserve. It does hack and hand wind. Stated tolerance is not great, -20 to +40 seconds per day. This one's been averaging about +14 seconds per day for the last few days that I've had this. So those numbers are not too great, but these are not the most refined movements you'll find from Seiko. So that's the automatic movement for you guys. You do get an exhibition case back as well, so at least you can look at the movement and see what's happening. So that's the watch for you guys. For me, it looks absolutely fantastic. The bracelet is nice too, except the clasp on this one, and they've done a really nice job with this watch, especially for the price. We have an automatic GMT from a big watchmaker, one of the biggest watchmakers out there with long history, and you can get this at this price. Is absolutely fantastic, and if you can score a decent amount of discount, it just makes it even better. That's the watch for you guys. Let me just give you a quick reshot as well. As I said earlier, the watch is not sized for my wrist at the moment, which I will do in the next couple of days, but I should still be able to show you how it fits on my wrist. There you go. Looks absolutely fantastic, fits really nicely. There's no like overhang. I'm really used to the Seiko's 5KX and SKX range. I have the SKX in my collection as well. I've had 5KX watches in the past, so I'm quite used to the way these watches wear on the wrist, the way they fit, and I'm really comfortable the way they look as well. So all right guys, that's the watch for you. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you with my next video shortly. Until then, stay safe and look after one another. Thank you again.